This is the Mickey Miles and More podcast, your one-stop for information on Disney races, Disney vacations, Disney theme parks, and more. Now, here are your hosts for the Mickey Miles and More podcast, Michelle Scribner-McLean, Chris Eliopoulos, and Mike Scopa.
Welcome home, Milers, and welcome back to another episode of Mickey Miles and More, a podcast where three friends talk about the Disney parks, the Disney races, and whatever else comes up. I'm Chris Eliopoulos. With me, as always, Dr. Michelle Scribner-McLean.
Dr. Michelle Scribner-McLean is done teaching for the semester. Mr. Eliopoulos. Yeah, not done grading, but done teaching.
It's already over.
Made it.
That's a semester for you.
Yeah, I am done. Happy to be done.
Oh, yeah. Any shout outs today or you just want to move on?
I think I'm just ready to move on today. I can't think of anybody, but I know where to find you if I think of something.
Okay, all right.
Change my mind.
Well, then I'm dedicating the show to the Dean of Disney, Mr. Mike Scopa. Hi, Mike.
Good morning, Chris. I was hoping that we were going to have a scoop this morning, but by about 30 minutes, we're recording on Thursday morning, and we were going to announce that Walt Disney World is returning the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party to the Magic Kingdom starting August 12th this year.
Didn't you just announce it?
They just announced it.
Didn't you just?
I sort of announced it on Facebook, but so one of the interesting things everyone is waiting for is the prices. We don't know what the prices are going to be. When they last held Mickey's Not So Scary, the prices range from, I think, $85 to maybe $125. We don't know, but we expect that they are going to run anywhere from around $160, $69 to maybe $200 for Halloween night. So obviously candy has become very expensive. So just a little
awesome
announcement.
Candy.
Yeah, awesome candy. And as far as I know, it's going to be Hocus Pocus on stage, not the villains mix and mingle. Booty U is going to return, and maybe a few other things. Yeah. So I just wanted to make that announcement. Good morning.
I think that's a lot of money, but I honestly think the grave diggers are maybe worth it for me. I love those grave diggers.
Oh, right. It's more than the cost of a day's.
That's correct.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It runs February to November. So.
Yeah, right. It just keeps going on.
You're right, Chris. So a 5-hour party ticket is going to be between $169 and $200 versus a 12 or a 13-hour one-day park hopper ticket, which is about $144 to $150. So you're absolutely correct.
So you know what it makes your old WDW Today podcast about the $70 cookie. It makes them adorable. Really.
I know, right?
The days when you spend only $70.
You're right, Michelle. It's sad because I think when we first coined that phrase, it was $65.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So now
that's adorable.
$100 away. $100 ago.
So quaint that it was a $70 complaint. No. So we're back. The Magic. What are we? The Magic Squad? Is that what?
We're the Magic Squad.
Magic Squad.
We're getting T-shirts made.
Yeah.
You're making the logo. Didn't I tell you?
Wow. I didn't realize I have another job. But so the Magic Squad, our Disney has tasked us with creating some more magic at the parks to make up for all of the mess that has been going on lately. And so we've done a general overview. We've done the Magic Kingdom. Today we're going to do some Epcot. So if you hear some sawing and hammering and walls getting put up, it's just the Epcot being put up, being reimagined today on the show. So Mike, since you have the largest list of I will say, to start off with, Michelle, I think this is going to be up your alley today because the technology portion of this is going to be like a thing. I was actually thinking I was focusing my inner Michelle on the idea of what used to be called Future World. What is it called? It's called, what is it? World Discovery, World Celebration, World Nature, and World Showcase now. So
yeah, I think it's fun to think about the process that we use because Mike writes this gigantic list and I pretty much show up and brainstorm while I'm here, and you're sort of in between, Chris, right?
I'm in between. I will say on my list, it's a lot of very small stuff. I took a lot of inspiration from Year of a Million Dreams, which I think is sort of the basis of all this. I think that year was very successful, and I'm surprised they ever stopped it. But Mike, why don't you start us off with your first of many 14 different ideas you've had?
Well, before we came on the air, I mentioned that I don't know if many of these are innovative. Some of them are going to be, people are going to be shaking their heads. Oh, I remember that. And I just think there are certain things, like you said, Chris, you think about Year of a Million Dreams, which was the poster child for magical experience. So I'm going to start off saying that the first thing I would like to see for a return to the magic, and I'm not sure if it's happening now. I don't know if it is, but I would really like to see Epcot every day, year round, open up both what they're calling Discovery Land, or I'm going to call it Future World because everybody understands this. Future World. Future World and World Showcase should open at the same time. They used to hold off opening a World Showcase about an hour or two after Future World opens. I really think it would help if both are open at the same time. Now, I do know that the last time we were there, Ratatouille, you could get into Ratatouille around 8:30. I think that might have been the only attraction of World Showcase that was open. But my number one idea is to return to the magic is to have both World Showcase and Future World, I'm calling it Future World, open at the same time every day, January, February, all the way through December.
It's a fairly simple and easy one to do. I'm surprised they haven't done it in the past. But all right, Michelle, give us your technology reports. What are you up to?
My first one isn't technology. My first one is something I've said for many, many years. I would like to see food and wine be a year-long thing. I would like to see it all over the park and, with maybe some changes, but I think it would serve to make available all those really cool things. Again, I talked last week about sort of a test kitchen situation. Disney could test out some of the things that they want to use in restaurants, but also it might take a little pressure off people who feel like they have to drink around the world specific time during the year. I just think why not? I mean, we already have it for Flower and Garden, we have it for Food and Wine, which is now 4 months. Just make it the whole year. I mean, really, just make it the whole year. Everybody who comes every part of the year could benefit. And if we build onto your idea, Mike, of opening things up early,
Sure.
why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, and one of the things, that's a great idea, Michelle. I mean, they do it 9 months out of the year now anyways. But one of the things that they're doing with Flower and Garden now, I think, is that they're opening it up for breakfast. So if you're going to open up for breakfast, that would mean that World Showcase idea makes sense. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. Might as well make it year round. Have those kiosks there all the time.
Very cool. When I was younger, when we went to Epcot, I loved the idea. Well, two things. I loved the idea that this was like a World's Fair park, right? That was the initial concept behind the park. And the second was the Imagination Pavilion. What's the pavilion? The two sides. Innovations, right? They used to have this stuff. I remember as a kid, they had the first video phone. They showcased new technology, and I love that.
That was in Spaceship Earth. That was in the AT&T part when you got off. That's where it was.
So I love that they were showing off new technology. It allowed companies to present new ideas. So I was hoping now, with World Discovery now, which is over by Test Track in that area, that they do a tech hub in that area, and maybe do a pop-up technology kiosks, almost like you see in Animal Kingdom. They show little animals or fossils or something like that. You come up with new technologies, almost like a mall or a world fair. I would love to see some more of that, and I was thinking of you, Michelle, when I did that one.
Yeah, when at the university we have something called the Sandbox, which is a place where faculty can go try out new technology, like virtual reality. And when I used to work at the Museum of Science, we had an area where people would try out new exhibits, or part of an exhibit, and people would watch them and learn about how they interact with it. So I think that would be really cool.
So, to both your points, when Interventions was put on the drawing board, one of the thoughts was that Interventions would be a so-called black box in which they would showcase technologies like that, Chris. And I think they tried it for a while. I remember seeing a robotic dog there and a few other things. I don't know why they don't do that. I think it would make sense. It's supposed to be a theme park that deals with edutainment, whatever, technology, you know, I mean, and the same people who would work on that possibly could do that last diorama at Carousel of Progress for Michelle.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, let's go. Keep it up going.
So this probably covers some things that both of you are thinking about. I think generally speaking, throughout the entire theme park, there should be a return to a certain level of entertainment that's been missing for a couple of years. I don't remember the. I know. I'm sorry, Michelle. What was the name?
I
of
do the same
band?
thing. Sign off, like scratch off our.
What was the name of the band in Canada that we liked?
Oh,
Randy. I almost
Kilts?
had
Off kilter?
Off kilter, yeah.
I mean, I thought they were good. They were. I think they were all like firemen in Orange County or whatever.
It would be nice to see, like, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like local bands be able to come in and like showcase their work and not have the same.
Yeah. I mean,
same
I think
all the time.
that would be
different types of
nice.
music.
It really would be that, and the Jameters. There used to be a roving three-piece band in Canada. Obviously they have something in United Kingdom. They used to have the British Invasion, but also entertainment things like remember the Boy in the Bubble back in the 90s, and you've got this ridiculous thing in Italy with the
70s.
whistle guy and.
Oh.
I get rid of that. The mariachi band is fun. You know, I really think that general uplift in the entertainment in that theme park it's sorely needed. So that's what I like to see.
More entertainment, but you have to be the person who decides if it's obnoxious or not.
Yeah, the whistle guy is not
The
magic.
whistle guy.
Well,
The whistle guy.
I think
He's out.
entertainment should be music, singing, dancing. I don't think it should be, you know, go move back. I'm going to try to throw a ball into a net. You know, I don't know.
Come on. Curmudgeon man strikes again.
And yeah.
Michelle, did you have
No
anything
pizza,
similar?
CD ketchup.
I did. I had entertainment, but I did have, I mean, look, you know, Orlando has a lot of great singers, musicians, entertainers in other way. Why not like showcase them? It's a way for them to gain popularity, but you know, have them do a week residency or a 6-week residency at Epcot and showcase people, different types of music. I think that's one of the things when I think about World Showcase is that for some people, sadly, this might be their only exposure to other cultures and and other types of music and things like that. So to have different musicians, and I think would be really, really cool.
Yeah. I will say, I'll just do the two that were very similar to yours, Mike, which was I wrote acrobats, jugglers, magicians, make it more of a World's Fair. But also I was thinking international streetmosphere, people dressed up as figures from their country talking to guests, maybe some famous, not like Italy. You've got like Da Vinci walking around talking about his stuff, or you go to, Great Britain and you meet, whoever, Harry Potter. Well, that won't happen, but you know what I mean? Like it's sort of a historical figure. But Michelle, what's your next idea?
Well, I was going to do something different, but I'm going to build off what you just said because I think it fits in nicely with this idea. I think that every month there should be a country that's a focus country celebrating China or celebrating Mexico, and there should be sort of a microcosm of extra activities. So maybe that's when they have these extra performers or things like that. But maybe they do series where they have people talk about their culture, what it's like to live there. Maybe they just have extra entertainment. Maybe they have a ride a way that the attractions are being plussed, but it would be, let's celebrate world culture. So let's go around World Showcase and focus on, I don't think it would be hard to do. I think it would be easy. It could start really small. That's what I always say to teachers when we're trying something new. Don't do everything. Try something, make a little bit of a change. So try something small and then they could sort of scale it up so that we're celebrating the world. We're celebrating all these different countries in the world.
I love that idea. I'm surprised they haven't done that in the past. Mine is a simple one that we don't see as much anymore. I would love to see them get those like Wally or the trash can or something that roam around, the moving characters that move around. For some reason, everybody loves them. You could have ones dedicated to each different one, because I know there's like a nature one, like maybe even have like a walking tree or something like that. I know they have that woman in Animal Kingdom, but just fun little roaming creatures that people get excited about. I thought,
yeah, with the technology available, it's really doable. I mean,
and fun. I mean, the kids love those things. That trash can, my God. You never saw so many kids, like they never want to throw anything away, but all of a sudden they see this trash can roaming around, they want to throw everything away. So, oh well. All right, Mike, what's next?
I'm probably being very nostalgic today, but one of my most fond memories in Walt Disney World, and especially Epcot, is that I got to see the very last performance of Tapestry of Nations Parade. And I got to watch it with the parent of one of the cast members who was in the parade. And I got to sit right outside Germany, so it went by me twice. It's a very magical parade. It's Tapestry of Dreams. Maybe it's Tapestry of Dreams, but it just celebrated so much, and it was so magical. It was so, I want to say Jules Verne-ish, that I really liked it. And they did a parade around the World Showcase Promenade, and I thought it was just great. The only problem with it was that some of the materials and kites or whatever they used, they could not do the parade if the wind was something like 15 or 20 miles per hour. But I really thought it was a great parade, and I really feel badly for those who really never got a chance to see it. So I think a parade of some sort would be nice. Obviously, the kiosks kind of hurt the width of the route, but I really think a parade in Epcot is something that needs to happen. Sorry, Michelle.
The sound you hear is Michelle crossing off her list over and over and over again today. All right, whatever else is left on your list, Michelle.
I have a lot.
Oh, good.
It's just funny. I'm just getting a text from Jeb Wills. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party returns. So we're all on the same page. All right, So here's your technology, or part of your technology, Chris. I used to love Horizons, and one of the reasons I loved Horizons was because I thought the choice at the end, where you got to choose the button, was just amazing. And I would love to have, I just think the technology is there where we should be able to make some choices and things that we're seeing or we're doing in the attractions. For example, this is pie in the sky, but I don't think this would be really hard. Say we're all three of us are going to Epcot and we know that we're going to see Harmonious. And then on the My Disney Experience, there's a choice for that night. We're going to take the majority choice for the music. What type of music do you want featured? What could you choose? One type of firework that will be featured? Could you choose one type of, what color will be predominant there? And I think with the tech, I mean, I don't know anything about fireworks, but I know a little bit about coding. I think that it would be pretty easy. So at the end of the night, we have chosen the fireworks. The majority of people have chosen the fireworks. So it's going to feature the music from Encanto. It's going to feature the music from, it's going to be Japanese music that night, or feature a certain movie. I think, we're not talking about 27 choices here. I'm talking about letting the guest choose one or the other, or maybe two things. And to add that choice into other attractions, such as Finding Nemo. You have those clamshells where you're sort of looking, it's only your show. So could we choose what characters we see or what music we see? I think that was thrilling for me as a kid. As a kid who liked technology even back then, I don't think it would be that hard to do, especially with smartphones and the My Disney app. Fellas, what do you think?
Yeah. I agree. I think I think it's very easy to code that in, just put some kind of a random generator like they do with Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. I think giving the guest an opportunity to customize their experience, I think it's a great idea. And I enjoyed that too, Michelle. I was like, gee, I want to go on next time because I want to pick this ending. I want to pick that ending.
Yeah, my brothers and I would fight like underwater. Which one did we want to do? So it was like simple and cool, and I just thought that was great.
Well, it's just like Star Tours, where you sort of get a different ride each time, and everybody loves to go back and see what they get. So
yeah, but I'm talking. I mean, it's not a random generator. I'm talking give people a choice between even two things, because that's gonna. Oh, we chose. That's gonna make me want to stay.
Yeah, I want to
stay in the park until the yeah. So.
No, I love it. I love it. In that vein of imagination, do you know if the Imagination Pavilion is going to be staying at this new thing? Because all I can say is it needs to be more imaginative. They need to redo that whole pavilion to make it a little bit more cutting edge and unique. Right now, it's just sort of not very imaginative. So.
Yeah, that's actually my next one was bring back Journey to the Imagination.
Or even make it the old one, but better or something.
Yeah, bring back the old version, but like use newer technology. And maybe there's choice. That part where we were just sort of going along with the Dream Finder. Maybe we can choose what smells are there or whatever.
Yeah.
But I love that attraction. That was, I think you need some classics and you need some new.
But you can update classics and make them more appealing to the younger set. So
but also getting back to that technology, that innovation playground that was at the end of that attraction, we spent hours as kids in that place, on the dancing on the floor and using the different technologies which that point were new, but we spent a long time in there. I think that was really cool.
As it would. So Mike, next.
I always have thought that the World Showcase Lagoon was in itself an attraction. And I have often thought that it has always been underused. With the harmonious hardware, I thought that we would see very nice fountains during the day, which we haven't seen. So having said that, I would like to see a return to some type of entertainment that takes place within the lagoon. Back in 92 and 94, there was something called Surprise in the Skies, in which the Fab Five somehow were flying over the lagoon with some kind of drone, kind of kite vehicle, whatever, and there were fireworks. So I really think that some kind of a 3 o'clock in the afternoon, some type of maybe daytime fireworks, music, or celebration with the fountains. I think it would be a great addition to the Epcot experience. I think that around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there's a lull. I think people kind of slow down, and I think a little show around the lagoon would give people a really nice pickup and continue to give them incentive to have more fun in the afternoon. So that would be something I'd like to see.
Yeah, very cool. Michelle?
All right. So mine, I think Disney was sort of going in this direction. It may have stopped a little bit, but I think every single country should have an attraction. We all know that there's some countries that we just breeze through and don't do anything. But I think we need to have something in Germany. We need to have something in Morocco. UK, I think Mary Poppins is going there. I think every country should have actually a film and an attraction. I think there should be like a cultural aspect and then some sort of a dark ride like Mexico, something like that, where people have a more of a reason to stop at those countries and not just go through on the way to somewhere else.
I love it. As the work goes on, I don't know if you can hear the construction in my house, but oh, good. You don't hear that?
Oh, no. Yeah, Ned heard that. Yeah. You're building an attraction.
We are. I'm putting it in here. My next one is sort of like an all-encompassing for all the different attractions. I was thinking, when I was a kid and I would go on an airplane, they used to present you with little pilot wings that you could put on your chest. I was thinking, each day they should have a pilot of the day for a little kid to give him wings and maybe a hat. But all the attractions, so like there'd be a test dummy of the day. Oh God, a test dummy of the day, or a fish of the day. They could be an honorary fish. Just pick something from each pavilion and each day, and then, if they're wearing that stuff, it goes around. Like you're basically an advertisement for the attractions by walking around with that stuff on. So, just a little something to keep these kids engaged and sort of feeling special. Mike?
You guys remember when you used to be able to buy a badge or a nameplate with your name on it down there? The problem was that people started asking you directions
Right.
when you were wearing it, thinking you were a cast member. That's a sidebar. I want to piggyback on what Michelle said, because I'm skipping ahead to one of my ideas. And one of my ideas was to complete the Japan dock ride that was started way back in the late 60s and was halted because of political, very sensitive reasons. But that Japan pavilion is actually a castle, and in the back they were beginning to put together a dock ride to talk about Japan's history. Now, we know that there's a certain part of Japan's history that's dark, but why not just focus on the culture, the people, and all kinds of stuff that comes out of Japan?
Every country has a dark
Yeah,
period.
yeah, no, true, but like you said, Michelle, there should be an attraction in every pavilion. So my next suggestion for the magic is to complete the dock ride in Japan. So that's my
Make it happen.
next one. Make it happen.
All right. Michelle?
This is an easy one. I get back to that night when we were at the Magic Kingdom, or morning we were at the Magic Kingdom at 3 a.m. Epcot doesn't really do that, and I would love to see some all night or some really late night experiences at Epcot. It used to be up until 12 or 1, but I don't know if they do it because of the resorts that are behind. But I think it would be nice to have people have the option of staying later. It's really spending a whole bunch more time at Epcot when it's nice and cool. Walking around World Showcase, especially in the heat of the Florida sun, is tricky. So it would also help to alleviate some of the crowd problems because people would say, oh, I can go to Epcot at 10 p.m. and it'll be less crowded and it'll be cooler. So that's an easy one.
Yeah. No, I like the idea of, we used to love it. Like, we used to love the walking around the World Showcase at night before the fireworks and music be playing. Just nice to have something going on. I'm trying to think out which one I want to talk about next. Maybe I'll stay in the front part of the park for a little bit and just say they should start doing like Imagineer events, like a meet and greet, like a discussion, like just something to talk about the future of the parks or the future of, and it might give guests a chance to tell the Imagineers what they're looking for. There's like a feedback thing, and they can take that back to work and say, hey, these guys are saying we'd really love to see this. I know I'm sure they walk around the parks, and I'm sure they have people who check on this stuff, but more interaction, and it'd be great in the World Discovery section where it's like everything is about new and updated, and just having the idea, like I with the Kennedy Center, the Kennedy why can't I remember the stupid name? Oh my God, I just totally lost the
Kennedy Space Center.
Space Center. I just totally lost the word. They have an astronaut of the month that come and visit. I think they should do that with the Imagineers in Discovery.
Well, they used to do something like that because I actually did an article for All Ears back in the day where you could have lunch with an Imagineer.
Right.
Like I went to the Flying Fish and had lunch with an Imagineer.
But you have to pay for it. It's a pay.
Yeah, you had to pay for it, and he was not soliciting my feedback. He was just like, I'm an Imagineer, have lunch with me. It was me and 5 other people. It was fine. But I like your idea better because it's, getting some more feedback.
And it's free.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to pay for dinner. All right, Mike, bring it on.
On our last visit, one of the things that Michelle and I really thought was outstanding was the Beacons of Magic presentation with Spaceship Earth. They put the sparkling lights up, and it's just you just sit there and watch it, and it's just amazing. One of the things I would like to see would be starting at 6 p.m. every night, once an hour, have some kind of a presentation, either singing or music or whatever. I know that they've done Kermit singing It's not easy being green, I guess it is.
Rainbow Connection.
Oh, Rainbow Connection. Well, I was close. It's just an amazing presentation. They've done an amazing job with that. And I would love to see them on an hourly basis from 6 p.m. to closing on the hour, have some kind of a special presentation. It could have something to do with the season. It could have just be a general thing, but they could do so much with that. They have a brand new sound system there. They have the new lighting system. Make use of Spaceship Earth. I think that people coming into the park at that time, leaving at that time, I think it's a great way to say welcome back, and it's a great way to say come back. So I would like to see that.
Yeah, I basically just now scratched off one of mine. Thank you, Mike. Michelle, what do you got?
I'm running out of them, but this is one
That's
that I really think would be awesome, because of the nature of Future World sort of being like, it used to be more like a teaching experience. I would love to have them use the college interns, the science majors and the math majors, to do little hands-on types of activities, sort of like the way they do in Animal Kingdom, but in front of or inside the different pavilions. So have them do something in front of the land or inside the land for kids. Really easy stuff that they could do, looking at different types of plants or things like that. But then there's something else at Mission Space that has to do with space. I think it's great for college students because they get to practice teaching and interacting with people. And it's just one little really like low stress, low key way to get people to sort of relax between running around different attractions. I don't think it would be hard. I'd love to train those people to do that.
Yeah.
Make a
You
job
want, you
for
want the
myself.
job? You're applying for the job that doesn't exist yet?
But, at obviously, they do a little bit of it, not as much as they used to at the Seas, but they could do a lot more with that. So I think that's just a really nice little way to sort of bring the education back to
Definitely.
Epcot.
Yeah, no, I love the idea. I'm going to throw out a couple of quick ones before I get to the main one. I think they need to, now that they have the new attraction, they should do a Guardians meet and greet, start doing that stuff. Pop-up food stands like we discussed last week about Magic Kingdom, where just things would just show up and try new foods out and see what we get. But the main idea, they've done this with the Kid Cot thing that they used to do, but I was thinking more as a family thing. Do passports around the world. Give everybody a passport when you enter the World Showcase. You maybe take a picture and they can just stamp it into the book, and you go around to each pavilion and you get it stamped. And when you get all the stamps, you get like a free pin or something like that. Just a little something to help out and get everybody moving around the World Showcase and visiting all pavilions. Because like you said, a lot of people do just pass by those ones without attractions or movies. So that's my take on it.
Is that your stomach, Chris? Or are you at the dentist?
I know, right? All right, Mike. I know you've been scribbling crazily for this last second.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I get about 6 or 7 more.
geez.
I think that they should fix Spaceship Earth. It's been a long time coming, but they coming down from on top of that attraction just, I mean, you pick, okay, when you want to live in the city, you want to live, I just think that there should be some things going on. And again, it could be the fact that technology changes ever so quickly that they don't want to do something, but they could do something with video screens, big ones on the right side or left side. It just seems like it's a waste. It's a half a ride.
Yeah. When I used to work at the second reference to the Museum of Science at the planetarium, in addition to the planetarium shows, they had laser shows. So there's like so much that you could do with that dome up there that's more than just a spinning Earth. Could be really, really cool.
Even something that would not change, like on the way down, I'd like your input on this, Michelle. Maybe on the way down, there should be some type of a presentation that talks about the universe, that talks about the planets, that talks about how we are in relation to the sun or whatever. It's Spaceship Earth. And the whole idea is that we're part of a huge universe, galaxy, whatever. Maybe that should be part of it, but I really think it's just a half an attraction.
Michelle, I mentioned to you offline a wonderful show on Apple TV Plus called Here We Are, based on the children's book. That idea, the concept of that show would work so well inside of Spaceship Earth. It's sort of like here we are, here's where we are in this world, here's what we see around us, here are the different peoples, here are the different animals, here's the different countries, we're just part of this big giant universe, blah, blah, blah. But it would be a perfect thing. I think it's so limited right now, the way it stands. It'd be fun to see a big giant change to this one. I know they were planning it, right, Mike? A change that got canceled?
Well, I think they just ran out of ideas, and they don't. I think that the problem is Chris, that they don't. If you think about going up, okay, as you're going up, they're talking about the global neighborhood. They're talking about how we communicate. And the whole idea of Spaceship Earth back when it first came out was how we communicate. The papyrus. All roads. Papyrus, whatever. All roads lead to Rome. We've got the thing, and I want to point out something that I mentioned to Michelle. She's probably sick of me saying this, but everybody listening out there, you know what I'm going to say. When you're going up Spaceship Earth, Chris, remember this. When you're going up Spaceship Earth, you can come across a scene on the left where they're printing the newspaper, and there's a fellow holding the newspaper.
Is it on Papyrus?
No. If you think about it, he's reading upside down because he's holding the newspaper with the fold up. So the part that's facing him is upside down. Is he reading it, or is he just showing it to us? But it's communication, so maybe some communication stuff on the way down. I don't know. But,
well, I actually disagree with you guys about
Papyrus.
And now I'll never forget that.
Paparazzi.
I disagree with the making it more like a planetarium, because I think people will get bored. I think the thing that keeps them coming back are the animatronics and the connection to people. There's I love Earth and space science, but I think it has to be connected to people, because we're selfish human beings and we like to see images of ourselves.
Like I said, go and watch
evolution.
that show. Go watch that show.
So, if you did it your way and talked about like different cultures and things like that, I think that would be interesting.
And it keeps in with the communication thought, but really, honestly, go watch that show. By the way, it's a really really good one. It beat us out for an Emmy. So even though they did that, I still think the show is great. So my next one is different areas around World Showcase. There's construction. I would love to see a junior chef of the day for each different, in France, or in some of the places where they make, the Carmel place in Germany. There's just help a chef make it, and give them a chef hat, help make something, they get to keep it and eat the results, and it sort of just gives a little bit of something fun for the kids to enjoy.
Another one along with the kids that just popped into my head when Mike was talking. Bring back something like Kim Possible with those little flip phones or whatever.
Right.
My son Liam, who's the same age as your kids, loved that, and we spent many a day going around and doing Kim Possible stuff with phones. People use their own cell phones, download an app. I think that it was really fun for families to do that interactive stuff.
Yeah.
Secret surprises wherever you go. That's always good.
Like they do in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Both of you mentioned things that that I think could be accomplished in that Odyssey, where the Odyssey restaurant is, where they show the future of Epcot. Years ago, I thought about making good use of that building. Maybe it is for the black box. Maybe it is where you can have feedback with an Imagineer. Or maybe it's meet and greet. But one of the things I often thought is that sometimes it's so hard to get into certain restaurants in World Showcase that I think that it's important to give people as much opportunity as possible to experience something. I think the Odyssey building restaurant should be a conglomerate, like a sort of a quick serve of the best of each country. So you can go in there and you can get the same kind of pizza you can get in Italy. You can get maybe what is that called? Sushi.
Papyrus.
Yeah, papyrus.
Papyrus,
No, I think
sushi?
it could be. Yeah, maybe it should be a quick quick serve kind of a restaurant area. Now they have recently opened the Connections Cafe. Maybe that takes care of that. But I really think they need to do something with that building. I think right now it is serving as the black box for Epcot.
But don't you think they need a flex space?
Yeah, and that's what that is.
For
That's
events?
a flex space. Flex space like that.
Mm-hmm.
They could do
Right.
what was the old what was that pavilion? The body pavilion or the
Yeah, the human body.
human body?
Yeah.
Don't they have that floating around
Or
there?
wonders of.
Wonders of
Life.
life.
Yeah. So
That's spooky in there now when it's not
Yeah,
being
yeah.
used.
I'm just gonna plop out the last two of my lists, Mike, so that you can get to yours. I think they should do sort of like almost a family selection, a special viewing section for Harmonious for a couple of selected families. Just because that place, it's so hard to actually see it from a good vantage point. So it'd be nice to have like a few selected families get to see a special spot. And the last one I had was every once in a while during the Living with the Land, as everybody gets off of the boat, they announce that they want to take you on a free tour behind the scenes and take everybody through for an additional, because again, it's one of those attractions that not a lot of people go on to or are too excited about, but the idea that you could get the tour and then you could go behind it at the time would be a fun little thing to do for certain people. So that's the last of my fun little stuff. Mike?
I remember both you guys mentioned feedback and to try to get an idea as to what guests would like to see regarding attractions or whatever. They used to do many, many years ago, they would do all kinds of surveys. I don't recall having been asked a survey lately, but one of the things that people asked about 10, 12 years ago is that they wanted more character interaction. So there were a lot more character meet and greets. Some of them were hits and some of them were misses. I keep thinking about that bear. That was a miss. But one thing I think that they should also do in Epcot is that they wanted to bring Epcot a little bit down to the level so that the kids would enjoy it more. The kids used to be bored. Hence why we have Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind. One of the things I think that they could do is to, pick it up a little bit with the characters. Maybe there should be a Miguel that you run into in Mexico. I'm not sure if Milan is there for China, but you've got Snow White, you've got Cinderella, you've got Belle, you've got the Beast, maybe Peter Pan for United Kingdom. We should see him and Wendy more. I just think there should be more characters more character meet and greets in Epcot. I think that would be really good. Michelle, did you want to add something?
I did. Well, so, one of the things that we read about this week is that there's going to be a new Magic Band coming out.
Oh, yes.
And in terms of technology, it'll be really interesting to see. It's supposed to be more interactive and things like that. It would be nice to see them capitalize on that new technology as they, build these new things that they're thinking about. So that one of the most brilliant pieces of marketing or merchandising that I have seen ever, not that I'm a marketing expert, is the way that you can buy a $65 wand at Universal and interact with Harry Potter. And so Disney needs to learn from that. Like, why would people buy a magic band unless it does something? Maybe it's a Kim Possible type of thing, but you could have people buy them and then they could interact with different countries and different worlds.
Yeah, they definitely need to do some of that stuff.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what the limitations are going to be for the Magic Band Plus. It's supposed to light up during fireworks and a whole bunch of things. So there could be things down the line that they think they can add to it. It's just another techie thing that hopefully, Michelle, your ideas about what should be would be good. Maybe their Magic Band Plus is the answer to Universal's $65
No, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it is. Maybe that's the reason that people buy it.
I think it's the surprises. It's you get a little extra, right? The whole show is about doing these plus things to create magic, and that's what we're looking at. It's not necessarily the product. It could be anything. It could be Mickey's magic wand from the Sorcerer's Apprentice, whatever you want it to be. But it just has to be something a little extra around that sparks people's imagination. So.
Right, like maybe you're wearing the the band and you walk on, remember those sidewalks that used to have that had LED lights in them? Maybe when you walk on it, it sprays a certain color. You know, it looks like a rainbow, or it looks like your favorite color or the color of the band.
How about this? You get a Magic Band Plus, and you could be in a standby line, and randomly a person will look at his or her Magic Band Plus, and it'll glow and say, "Go to the Lightning Lane." That would be nice.
Always something good. So,
That
all
would
right.
be
So the
nice.
rest of the show, Mike, is going to be you. You have a few more to go. Michelle and I are tapped out, but you're on the roll.
Well,
Yeah, let's
I
go.
want your input. I want your input on this. When they
Yeah.
changed Soarin' and they added the CGI stuff, I kind of lost interest in it, because I always think of Future World, Discovery World, whatever we're calling it, as being technologically advancing what we see. And I don't think that I think CGI is fantasy and make believe. I think that they should take that Soarin' film and make it so that it's all natural. I think that a lot of people noticed how
The elephants look.
the elephants, the whale, whatever, the whales jumping or whatever. I really think that
The
to me,
performing
it's-
polar bears.
Right. It was so much better when it was natural. So I'd like to see them change it and remove the CGI from the Soaring film. That's number one. Number two, getting back to the character meet and greets, bring back Dreamfinder and Figment. Figment's always been popular, so bring that
Especially in,
duo
in
back.
popcorn bucket form.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Line
So I
around the
think-
block.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about the popcorn bucket, so I think that would be good. There is an area in just before United Kingdom. It's called the Millennium Village. We've been there. Last year when we were down there, Michelle and I noticed that they had some of the kiosks from the Flower and Garden food kiosks. They were in there. What's nice is that it's huge. You can do so much in there. People can take a break from the heat. I think it's underused. I think they could use it for food and wine. I think we saw someone playing piano, Carol Klein, I think her name is. She was playing piano. She's now, by the way, playing piano in the American Adventure Pavilion. I think it's a place that should be used more often during the year. So that was another one. I have two remaining. One is that, just like Magic Kingdom, and if anybody has ever seen this, they know how special it is. There's a special presentation at the very end of the night at Magic Kingdom called Kiss Goodnight. Why not have the same thing for Epcot? And maybe that's what they should do at Spaceship Earth at night. I think that would be a very nice melancholy way of saying thanks for coming. Come on back. And
Now
my
get
final
out.
Yeah.
Just what I want to be on my vacation.
And-
Melancholy.
Yeah.
No, I think, and I think that the music that had been selected during the first 5 years of Hollywood Boulevard, they had that kind of music in front of the Great Movie Ride. Anyways, my last suggestion would be that, just like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, just like Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, why not do the same thing or something similar? Maybe not as grandiose, but in Epcot. Maybe have special parties around Halloween, maybe around Christmas time in World Showcase only.
So you
Why
want
not?
more hard ticketed events that cost them more money? That's magical?
Well,
Come on, Michael.
Maybe it should be not so. Well, when you talk a World Showcase, Chris, you're talking not as big an area as the Magic Kingdom. So maybe you can give the guests a break and not charge $169 to
What do you think? We have our own
No.
papyrus to print our own money?
Papyrus.
Oh, you were waiting
Maybe.
for that one. You were just holding that one in for the.
It's gonna be a long day, Chris.
Yeah, I'm
so-
guessing.
So that
you
would
don't,
be,
you don't think
know.
I'm going to be sending you stuff today? Just
Oh God.
I'm going to send you a letter on papyrus, and
Oh well.
sorry, Mike. We love you to death.
I walked right into that one.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's
Yep.
it. I think we got a lot of good ideas.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? So next week will be Hollywood Studios. Are we going in order of building?
Yes, I think we should.
All right, so we'll do
Studios and
Hollywood Stu- That's gonna
I
be interesting.
might actually have to write that one out ahead of time. I have to think about that.
Yeah.
I would suggest that we have we prepare for Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom just in case.
Yeah, sounds good. So, all right, so that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Mickey Miles and More. If you want to reach out to us, send us a message on Twitter at Mickey Miles Pod. For Dr. Michelle Scribner McLean, the Dean of Disney, Mr. Mike Scopa on Papyrus. I'm Chris Eliopoulos. We'll see you on the road and in the parks. Papyrus.
We hope you enjoyed listening to today's episode of the Mickey Miles and More podcast. For all of us here at the Mickey Miles and More podcast, this is Rick Gregg saying thanks for listening and all your support. And until next time, we'll see you on the road.
Papyrus.
Papyrus.
Papyrus.